Alright, hey guys, this is Billy Taylor. I wasn't able to give the video earlier when we had the group discussion on the reports of Obama, stopping DAPL. We didn't even know if it was true or not yet. We weren't able to verify it. But as information came in, we found out a lot. And basically, Obama denying DAPL, the permits, is not a win. We have to keep fighting. Pretty much the construction is still going to continue, even though they don't have permits for the construction. And you have to keep something else in mind. Trump's in support of DAPL. He has money wrapped up in DAPL. In a couple months, we're going to have Trump as a president. So they're continuing on regardless. This isn't a win. To me, it frustrates me a little bit, and I know the government does things like this to actually distract us. They did it with the DNC. Why do you think?
They did it last October.
Well, why do you think Bernie endorsed Hillary way before the DNC? We only had 25% of the participants we should have, but we still had 50,000 demonstrating in the streets of Philadelphia every day. We should have had a minimum of 200,000. So this is what the government does. Obama denying the permits. In the big picture, the big scheme, doesn't stop nothing. Nothing's changed. We keep fighting. Like I said a minute ago, the construction is still going to continue without permits. And guess what's going to happen in 2 months when we have the next president, Trump, who has money wrapped up in DAPL, as well as supports it. Pipeline's finished. All you got to do now is push the button to turn it on. It really does frustrate me that, a lot of people go, yay, we won, job's done. No. That's the same thing with the bank exit. Did I support it? Yeah, I support it. I'm against the banks. I think we need to teach them a lesson. We, the people, have the power. But essentially, banks backing out of DAPL, that's not a win either. Sorry to tell you that. But when you have a bank that sells $23.8 million worth of stocks, you also have the opposite end of that. You have someone buying $23.8 million worth of stocks. So the money hasn't been taken away from DAPL at all, and that was the point in all this in the first place, was to stop funding to DAPL. No, attacking the banks the way you have has only transferred that energy to another person. They're still being funded. Now, my question is if someone's actually going to take that stock, especially given the situation, they know what's happening. I mean, you're going to spend that kind of money. You're going to do the research. So knowing what's going on there, you're still going to buy into stocks. You have to be a pretty heartless, ruthless, vicious, malicious person, corporation, whatever it may be. And that's, so I'm worried because you know how the banks operate, so it's got to be a bigger bag or wolf than the bank to buy up all those stocks. So really, question everything you're told. Any information that comes out, I mean, just like when I hear things pretty much first. I have a lot of people that come back to me with information. I still check the links. Don't ever act on your instincts. Double check, make sure it's actually verifiable. But even after that, look outside the box. Don't just fall in line and do what you're told. Obama, it's not a win. It's not a win. Still building the pipeline, and Trump's still going to be president that supports the pipeline. I mean, to a degree it builds up momentum, it builds up energy, but we still fight, we still continue on. And let's take it on to the next level, because there's a lot more than just the pipeline that is being fought out in the Dakotas. There's a lot more at Standing Rock. Yes, this was started because, water is life. But what about, the government taking land and going through sacred sites, burial grounds, digging up graveyards? That's separate. I mean, that was for the pipelines, but they're allowing this to go on. That needs to stop. What about the chemical warfare they unleashed on peaceful people? That's the biggest human rights violation I've ever seen. There has to be accountability for that. I mean, without a doubt. I was there that day. I seen what they did. It wasn't just them unleashing everything, all the toys that they had at the people, and the people would basically take it and sit there and put two fingers in the freaking air. It was peaceful. My connection's a little weak. If I zone out, I'm sorry, guys. But they were lobbing the projectiles up in the air the first half of all that. during the second half, it was like they got so frustrated because no matter what they unleashed on us, we stayed there peaceful, remaining nonviolent. Believe it or not, you get used to mace and tear gas. It hits you once or twice, it's like, screw it at that point. You can get used to it. But after that, the second half, they started shooting the projectiles straight at us. They were headhunting. That's why there were so many concussions. So there's a lot more that's happening out there that needs to be talked about. The Obama thing, still press on. Still call your legislators. Still call political figures. Still continue to talk to people. Repost, share. This fight is not over. Don't get distracted. Stay at it. That's my outlook on it. That's my opinion. Just pay attention in the upcoming days. A couple things to ask when you're told something, like with the banks. The banks are dropping out, we're winning. No, the question to ask is, who bought that stock? Because that's the next person to attack. We keep fighting. Obama, he denied the permits. Okay, what's the next step? How can we truly stop this? Until it's guaranteed that, DAPL is no longer building. In fact, I think what needs to happen is they need to remove whatever pipe they laid. Till that time, I keep fighting. And I hope you do too. Outside of that, love every one of you. Thank you for the support, the positive encouragement, the love. It's so beautiful. Everybody that I'm involved with, the whole team here on the caravan, and everybody out there as well that's helped with donations, support, everything you've done, even if it's sharing one post. Thank you. Love you guys. Good night.
We also, we should start making a push